Breaking news here on Martyn Lucas Investor. It's already begun. We wondered why the markets were going up. Well, there's a pause on the tariffs. It's not going ahead. Look at this.
It's worth, Jane, taking a step back and looking at what Donald Trump is trying to achieve with these tariffs that we've heard so much about. It's also worth stressing that for so long, countries have been kind of wondering whether he would follow through on these threats. Through the campaign, he talked about the tariffs that he would have put in place. Would he actually do it? Well, yes, turns out he will. But there are three specific groupings. There are targeted tariffs to address unfair practices, either by specific industries or countries like China. There are general tariffs, low-level, low-percentage tariffs applied across the board, across all different sectors, in order to generate revenue for the United States. These tariffs are the ones that the UK is particularly worried about. And then there are tariffs used as negotiating tools to try and get countries to do what you want them to do. And it is that third grouping of tariffs as negotiating tools, which the Canadian and the Mexican tariffs announced at the weekend. That's what they fell into. Trump saying to Canada and to Mexico, if you don't do what I tell you, then I will impose massive tariffs. And specifically for those two countries, it is all about migration and it is all about drug trafficking. So Mexico now seems to be saying, fine, we will do as much as we can. We'll do more than we've been doing hitherto. Please don't tariff us. And Trump said, OK, fine, we'll give you a month. It's more of a problem, Jane, for Canada, because Canada is saying, look, very little fentanyl comes over our border into the United States. So what do you want us to do? We know that Justin Trudeau spoke to President Trump this morning. They're due to speak again later today. But on the face of it, Trump is saying to Canada, you need to deal with the fentanyl issue. Canada's saying, well, we don't see what the problem is. We're doing as much as we can and not much comes over the border anyway. So let's see how that goes. But it is a very interesting turn of events and I think shows what Trump would say, that this blunt tool that he's using, tariffs, his favorite word in the dictionary, it works when you want to get countries to comply with your demands.
What kind of reaction has there been from the American public, though? Because potentially they could be the ones that end up paying for this if inflation goes up. There's one estimate today, Mark, that says households could be spending an extra equivalent of £1,000 a year if these tariffs were brought in. What would you gauge reaction to be?
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? I'll be honest. I'll say we're trying to keep up with so much different news going on. I haven't actually gone out and spoken to many Americans at the moment. But what I can tell you is that it is obviously the case that, for example, tariffs on China, if you go into a branch of Walmart, so much of the produce in there will come from China. If he puts a massive tariff on China, then all of that is going to cost a lot more and it's going to hurt American consumers. Avocados, that's one example of a product which is imported from Mexico into the United States. Most avocados come from Mexico into the US. They are going to cost a huge amount more as a consequence of the tariffs, which have now, as we learn, been delayed by a month. Cars, American cars, yes, they're made in America, but many of the parts are pre-made in Mexico and then brought over to America and put in the cars. The cars are put together in the United States. So those parts would cost more if these tariffs come into place. Energy, America gets quite a bit of its energy from Canada. That would cost more. So yes, I mean, economists pretty much across the board will tell you that tariffs end up meaning that everyone pays a little bit more, some a lot more than others, but prices go up across the board. That is what most economists suggest. But we'll gauge more reaction from Americans and get it to you.
OK, Mark, thanks very much. Always best to be truthful. Thanks a lot.
So there we go. What about that? That's what's happening right now. Wow, there you go. The market is going up. We said don't buy it, don't sell it, sit on your hands, do nothing. We gave you the XRP from top to bottom, 50% crash. Told you to trade that because that's different. It's a speculative asset, whereas the markets themselves have dipped and gone back up. You should not be buying this still. You should already be in. This is incredible. What a morning this is. So leave me your thoughts below. You can see how much I've gained there. nearly $4,000 at one point when it hit the bottom in a few moments that I've made here. But I'm not buying anything. I'm not selling anything. So was it, and I'd like your thoughts and responses, was it pulled back because it was always a threat, it was never going to go through with it, and it was all drama and just used as a negotiation tool? Or was it because other countries retaliated back and said, if you tariff us, we're going to tariff you? And Trump realized he can't bully himself. Remember what we've just heard. So you can't bully us. Remember what we've just heard? We just heard Canada say, what are we supposed to do about fentanyl? It's not even an issue on the Canadian border. How are we supposed to fix that problem? So leave me your thoughts and comments below. What a morning this has been. Click above my head for all the links down below in the description. Like we said, do nothing. Oh, what a ride this has been. I haven't slept for 2 days. I've been up all night. This stream has been running over like 16 hours right now. Over here, more information that you'll find useful. And down here, some more videos you'll find useful. Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other.